I'm a shadow hunter carrying all protecting my eyes.
Everything's different.
The world's the same. You're the one who's different.
I'm an angel, I'm a demon, I'm a newborn form. I'm the bobcat on the far side of the breaking dawn. I'm the ocean, I'm the black stone you have cast alone. I'm the vulture, I'm an eagle, I'm a debutante before. The devil comes for you.
Seeks life, a faded, lesser copy of the one before.
Please put your hands together for Jamie Campbell.
My dear,
Wow.
good morning.
Seats all for you.
How are you?
Good.
It's early. Thank you for coming to see me this early. I was just saying, I wouldn't come and see me this early. It's a bunch of dribble at 10 a.m, so thank you. Appreciate it. Pleasure to be here.
Welcome to Metro Comic Con.
Thank you. I'm stoked.
We're glad to have you. We're stoked to have you.
Good.
Have you been to Australia before?
No, I have not. And I have an admission to make. My grandmother, this actually means a lot to me, and I've been thinking about it over the last week or so. My grandmother is no longer with us. I loved her dearly and still do. She was born and raised here in Australia, and she took a boat over to England just sort of post World War II. And I have a cousin who lives here. And I have an Australian passport, but I have never been. So it means a lot for me to be here, and I'm really, really happy, and she'd be over the moon to see me here in this capacity. So it means a lot, so I'm really grateful.
Oh, thank you. That's amazing. Good to hear that story. Are you going to get a chance to see much of Australia while you're here?
I'm possibly going to pop over to Sydney tomorrow night. I might take the sleeper train and go and see my cousin. They had a baby a couple of years back.
Watch how many people book the train.
Yeah. Please don't book the sleeper carriages, because I'm not sure how many there are left, and I'd really like to go. Yeah, I might pop over there. So yeah, that'd be cool.
Nice. Climb the Harbour Bridge if you get a chance.
That'd be cool.
It's a
That'd
great
be cool.
experience.
Yeah, maybe get in the sea, go over to Bondi. I don't know.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Well, we all have questions. I actually can't even see into the audience. If you want to ask a question, line up where the mic stands are. I'm just pointing in the general direction because I literally can't see anything in the audience right now.
I'm also going to help you out here. If anybody has a question which is, how long did the suit take to put on? I'll answer that now. 7 hours. Oh, you ruined it. And I don't the Vecna voice in public. So those are the two questions that I often get asked, and there you go. So nice to meet you all. I'll see you later. Thanks.
Thanks for coming. All right, I'm going to leave you in the safe hands of the audience.
Thank you so much. Hello, good morning. I can see you sparkling in the distance.
I'm a Sealy Queen, by the way. You may address me as my lady.
Oh, my. Sorry, my lady.
So I just want to venture an opinion that perhaps I may be your longest standing fan in this room, because I watched you in Camelot, and 2 days later your name popped up on Twitter, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to follow him. So
Shit,
I've been
I'm
following
sorry.
him since. It's been fun. I watch the Darling Buds go every week.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah. So I was just wondering if you were going to sing for us today.
No, I won't sing for you, but I can tell you that in like this summer, you know, like 2 months long now, basically. There will be new music coming. I've just finished mixing something and I'm waiting for a guitar solo to fly in from my friend Mikey. And then we'll be shooting the video really soon. So there'll be new music coming really, really soon, and I'm really excited about it. So, yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
Morning, Jamie.
Good morning, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Old Twilight tragic here.
Aren't we all, love?
I've even been to Forks, that's how tragic.
That's amazing. That's not tragic, that's awesome.
It's commitment. My question for you is, with the societal changes that we've had, say, over the last 10 years, do you think Twilight would still be made when you think of Edward's control issues and the Me Too movement and so forth? Do you think it'd have the same impact and the same following if we filmed it today?
That's really interesting. I've never really even considered the idea of Edward's control issues, as you beautifully put it. I mean, I think at its core, what Twilight had was a really beautiful love story, you know, and that's something that has existed for time, you know. And I think that's kind of what we were all drawn to. Yes, it's all dressed up in sexy vampires and, you know, they're very good looking and whatever, bar obviously Caius. Yeah, I think it would still get made now, and I think people would still relate to it. I mean, fucking hell, you know, look at 50 Shades of Grey.
True.
You know, like, I'm not kink shaming, you know, like whatever, but like, you know, yeah, I think we'd still be alright, yeah. Thanks. That was a great question.
Hi, Jamie.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
Have I met you before?
Yes, in New Zealand.
Yeah, hello, nice to see you again.
My mum's not here today, so she's not going to yell.
Oh God, I remember your mum.
She's coming tomorrow, so...
Fucking hell. Can't wait.
Kind of, because I don't think a lot of people have... I'm going to ask the same question I asked in New Zealand, but your recording process.
Yeah.
If you want to...
Expand on it.
Expand on it, if you want.
Yeah, it's been something that I think I've been talking a lot about recently with just with people I work with and in the industry, and it's something that I've been thinking about as well. And I think a lot of like artists that we're kind of drawn to now, they do tend to work alone and outside of the sort of idea of like mainstream kind of recording processes. For me, I find I have trauma and I have experiences that mean that for me, the creation of that side of myself and that art form requires me to be in a really safe space. I feel quite vulnerable talking about it. So I enjoy working alone. I find that if I don't have to over-explain things as I'm going through them, it just happens really, really quickly, and I will naturally just kind of, when I start writing a song, at the moment I will either sit down at a piano or pick up my acoustic guitar, and it will happen really quickly, and it will happen during the day. Almost everything will kind of come together. And I find that if I'm in a studio environment and I'm with a producer, and people are people, right? You know, everyone's got their own shit going on. A lot of older producers in this world, you know, they fucking love to chat. God, they love an And I find that really detrimental to the process, because I like to paint in a really fast way when it comes to making music, and I like to be like, okay, now I'm going to mic this up, so I need to do that. So, you know, please don't talk, just let me crack on. And that's just how it kind of comes out of me. And so I work from home a lot, and I think I said this before, you know, it may not sound, you know, it's not going to sound like a Luke Combs record, but it's going to sound something similar to a Chris Stapleton record in the sense that it's going to have a vibe to it. It's going to have the sound of the room in it, and I'm okay with that. I don't mind that. I'd much rather it feels alive than too processed, if that makes sense. With this new song that's coming out, I sent it out to a lap steel player, a pedal steel player called Tom Yankton, who used to play for a country band called Rascal Flatts, who are no longer around. And Tom's like, he's really cool, but he's a really like super cool customer, and I work really fast, so I had to like stop myself from being like, can you send it to me right now? Like, I need it today. I was like, this guy's got his own process, he wants to take a week doing it, and that's cool, and I love that, and it came out beautifully. So when it comes to having other people in the space, I have to allow them their process, but my process is quick and alone, and I much prefer that. It's really, it's just, I don't know, just the music tends to come out better.
It's authentic.
Yeah, it's authentic. Yeah, and I know, and like I'm writing all the time, but I can hear it and I can feel it in my voice when something's really, really like banging and really, really good, and that's why I tend to not release things if I don't think that they're right. You know, it takes me a minute to kind of hit the right thing, and I'm okay with that. I don't mind that, as long as you don't mind that as well. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Nice to see you again.
Yeah. Hi.
Good morning.
Sorry, I'm trying really hard to keep my shit together this morning.
You and me both.
Mine is also a question relating to your music.
Cool.
Also kind of like Stranger Things is set in the 80s, and some of us are from the 80s. Do you have any current like musical influences that affect the stuff you're currently working on, if any, or who are your top musical influences from the 80s?
Yeah. Shit. At the moment, I found a really like interesting hole for me musically at the moment. I'm listening to a lot of like Tyler Childers. I'm listening to a lot of Chris Stapleton, as I mentioned earlier, but even like further back, I'm listening to a lot of Janis Joplin. I am consuming a lot of like American gospel music, and particularly Black American gospel music. Bands like the Staple Singers are amazing. I bought a record recently which is recorded live in a church that they did. It's really cool. And a lot of folk music as well. Like I'm really kind of drawing on that. I think I've gotten older now, so like I like the idea of space and nature and the woods and like, and I think that when I was younger, when I first started making music, I really wanted to be amongst my contemporaries. I wanted to be making loud rock guitar music that sounded like the rock guitar music that was on the radio. And now I just want to make songs that feel really real. It's not that the stuff that I was making before wasn't real, but like I like the idea of stripping it away now. But when I was sort of first going solo a couple of years ago in the pandemic, I subconsciously, something was like in the air, and I started listening to like I was listening to Pornography by The Cure a lot. I love that record, and obviously Disintegration is amazing as well. And I really ripped off Running Up That Hill by Campbell. I like completely ripped off. And this is before I knew it was even in the show. So I was like, fuck yeah, everything's amazing, this is gonna be sick. And then like I'm reading the scripts and I'm like, there's no way I can release this song now. You're gonna be like, you jumped on a bandwagon, you cheeky bastard. So I'll still listen to like Sisters of Mercy and stuff like that as well. I went to go see The Cure in LA a couple of weeks ago. That, you know, Robert Smith's voice just sounds exactly the same as it did. But I'm doing my like historical, I guess you call it research at the moment into music and finding the things that I love. You know,
and it's interesting, I think someone asked me earlier about like society and like if Twilight would be made now with all these changes that have gone on, and I'll find songs now that I'm like, fuck, that sounds so good, I'll do that. This happened like literally 2 days ago, and I was like, yeah, I'll cover that. And then I like looked into the history of it, and I was like, can't even touch it. Like, don't hear it, that would be a bad idea. Find out where it's come from, and then use that reference and make your own out of that. Great artists steal like great artists, that's the trick. So, yeah, hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you. It's been really incredible to like be along the sort of your musical journey from the Darling Buzz, I think, which someone mentioned before, to Counterfeit to now, and that kind of progression. So maybe the forest reference, like Witch King to Woods King? Yeah. Forest King?
Just fairy.
Also equal. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi Jamie.
Hello, I've met you before as well.
Yeah.
My God, you're all coming out of the woodwork, aren't you? Nice to see you again.
Good to see you too. I think you're such a lovely person,
Oh,
and
God.
I was just wondering how you get into the dark mind that is Vecna.
Duality. It's something that I'm diving into now, even more so with myself. I think, you know, it's been mentioned around my kind of circle of friends, and I've seen it a couple of times recently. This idea of like toxic positivity is something that I think we really need to be aware of. I don't think everything is good all the time. You know, it's okay not to like something. It's okay to feel annoyed. It's okay to be angry, and embracing those parts of myself is really vital for me living a full life. And having my own sense of morality within that too, you know. That's the trick at the moment, is just kind of noticing those parts of me and being like, okay, that's part of me, that's okay. That's okay for you to be there. I love you still, you're still beautiful. So, yeah, diving into those darker parts of myself, it depends really, like, it depends on what I'm drawing upon. If it's justified experience, or if it's my reaction to an experience. And I like using those in art. I find it very cathartic.
Would
and
you say you're like a method actor?
I don't know. I do know that, like, I do know that it's very easy for me to feel like I can be quite a people pleaser. So I do know that it's very easy for me to kind of like mold myself into people pleasing. So when I'm portraying something, I like to be in that mode and in that space. And if my mind starts going, make sure that this person really likes you, it's like, no, fuck that. Like, you don't need to be like that right now. Like, you don't need to really be like that at all, but you know, it's like, it happens. So I like to stay in the space of whatever it is that I'm feeling, or whatever it is that I'm meant to be feeling, and bring that with me to work, bring that with me to set, into an environment, so that I can fill that space with the truth of what it is that I'm meant to be doing. It can be difficult. I just made a film a couple of months ago, and the journey is quite varied, and so I'd be thinking one thing in the morning, still here, I'd be feeling morning, and then I'd be feeling another thing in the afternoon, so to kind of jump between those two things was quite tricky and quite difficult, and I really heavily relied on my director, or the director, to kind of make sure that I was being pushed into the right direction. But I have my own method. You know, I didn't study. I started working when I was 18. I studied a bit at school, but like, I don't have a written out method, and it's always changing. And as I'm growing older, I'm having more experience, and I've got more to draw on. because that's what acting is we're trying to reflect what it means to be human, to be a full person. And so in that sense, I'm drawing upon experiences and going, okay, well that's a very human thing to feel. How do I bring that into that space there? So roundabout. Do you see how my mind works? Mental. Thank you.
No, that's awesome. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks, thank you.
Hello.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Good.
What's your name?
Aiden.
Hi, Aiden. I'm JD. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
What's your question?
My question is something from Stranger Things. What fun did you do behind films?
What did I, sorry?
What fun did you do behind films?
Oh, what fun did I have off set? My gosh. Well, I spent a lot of time with Millie. I'd go to Millie's house, it was funny enough, it was July 4th a couple of days ago, which in America is like a big holiday for them, something about independence, I don't know. And when we were filming, it was the same time of year, so we went to a fireworks shop and bought lots of fireworks and blew things up in the sky. That was quite fun. I would scare lots of members of the crew by just being in Vecna. They would be quite terrified. But everyone who works on the show is so nice, you know, so there was lots of fun that we had, you know, just by sort of being with your mates. It was really cool. It was really, really fun. But I remember blowing things up. That's kind of a big memory for me. Thank you so much for your question.
Thank you.
Take care. Have a lovely day.
Hi. Oh, shit.
Hello.
So my question is kind of like, has there been a role that, you know, you've sort of read the script and kind of thought, maybe this isn't for me, and you turned it down, but later you kind of looked at it and you're like, well, maybe I should have done that.
Oh, that's interesting. Have I ever turned a role down and then looked at it afterwards and thought maybe I could have done that? There have been jobs that I have turned down. It's public knowledge that there's parts of, at the moment, because I'm taking myself very seriously, I'm not like wildly kind of obsessed with getting into the Marvel world. I know a wrong crowd to say that to. Where's Martin Scorsese? So there have been things in that kind of world that I've looked at and I've been like, at the moment, that's not for me. But there have been movies that I've gone up for that I've been like, I could kill that. And I would do the audition and I thought, nailed it, mate, you've got it. And then no response. And those are the ones that you're like, you know, and you watch, I watch my contemporaries do them, and everyone brings something different to them, right? So you watch them and you go, that's not what I would have done, but it's beautiful and it is what it is, but there is certainly a feeling of like, shit, wish I'd gotten that. But there's nothing that I've turned down that I've then looked at and gone, I could have done that. But there are certainly gigs that I haven't got that I wish I had got. But there are some beautiful things that are said by, you know, other actors and artists that if you don't get something, it's because it's not your time. It's not your time to get it, you know, and that's okay. I'm okay with that now. I'm okay with no's, even if it hurts, you know, the ego, I'm kind of all right with it. So yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
Bless, thank God for that. The people-pleasing nature's coming out.
Hi Jamie, this question is for my son who wanted to ask.
Hello, mate.
His question was, what's the secret to acting?
What's the secret to acting? I don't know. That's a very good question. I'll tell you what, like, acting for me and like being on stage and performing was always the place that I felt safe. It was always the place that I felt like I could be full and be everything that I wanted to be. And be accepted in that moment. I said earlier that, like, I think a lot of, well, our job is to convey what it means to be human, and that's something that I've always said, is it's like I want to find out what makes people tick and what makes people the way that they are. So it's sort of twofold. I think one part of it is drawing on your own experience and feeling free enough to bring that forwards. And the other side of it is also a bit of research as well. You know, it can, I quite like the intellectual side of it now, particularly playing somebody like Henry or One, you know. It's like I got to look at some pretty interesting characters and people for that, and think, well, why do people become that way? What makes people like that? And then also it's really interesting as well because it affects my view on society too. It affects my view on how we should be looking after one another. And I think for someone like Henry, I've really gone on one here, I'm really sorry. I think for someone like Henry, and looking at some of the people that I looked at, I think often we fail people in society. I think we don't necessarily understand that understanding somebody and listening to somebody is of real importance, and it can be incredibly preventative for terrible things that happen. And so I don't necessarily believe that people are born bad. I think that circumstance has a lot to do with it, and it makes me sad. You know, it makes me really sad. So that's something that I find really interesting. But the secret, sorry, going back to something slightly lighter, the secret, yes, be free, freedom, be free, enjoy the space, it's there for you, and if things are coming to you in your mind, take them, they're yours, they're all yours, you know. This is a space to be free, it's a space to just have fun and explore. So yeah, that's the secret, I think. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hello. Oh, Lord, it's like looking in the mirror.
Hi, Jamie.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Are you wearing red contact lenses as well?
I am.
Oh my gosh. Bless you.
Caius had to be the one. My question is, when you were promoting your solo music, unless I'm making this up, I swear I remember having like the clock sound in some of the promo. Was that a cheeky nod to Vecna? You're just generally spooky.
It just happens that way. I'm just generally spooky. Yeah.
So there's no like hidden like cheeky little Vecna in like Paralysed or anything like that?
No, not at all. I mean, I think what is interesting is that, like, the way I was discovering my voice at that time was also something that I was doing for the show, but there are so many parallels that have happened around Stranger Things and around my life that sometimes my life doesn't feel real. I walked out of my apartment the day I got the job for Stranger Things, and I saw a guy wearing a D&D Vecna t-shirt, and I've never seen that before, and I've never seen that since. You know, the sound of the clock thing happening, that was really like completely out there. Stealing the Kate Bush song, totally, like all of these parallels that were happening were just happening, and that's what I was saying as well to that lovely boy. You know, it's like when these things are coming to you, don't ignore them, just take them in and let them happen. So no, I swear on my life, I didn't nick it. Sure, yeah, whatever, mate.
Thank
Nice
you so
try.
much.
Thank you. You look great, by the way. You're welcome. Hiya.
Hi. You've played a lot of really good roles, immersive roles, and I was wondering, is there a character archetype that you haven't played that you think would leave you out of your comfort zone that you've always wanted to try?
Somebody that doesn't have trauma would be lovely. But given my experience, it's probably not going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been asked that question before, if there's like a character that I would like to play. I don't know. I really, really don't know. I respond to things as I respond to things on the page, and given where I'm at in my life, you know, there's nothing that I'm kind of looking at going, I would like to be that specific person. I'm just kind of responding to things as and when they come in and hoping that I can do the best that I can. But again, you know, somebody without trauma would be nice.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Hey mate.
Hey mate.
As a big Stranger Things fan, did you audition for one knowing that he was going to turn into Vecna, or did you just audition straight for Vecna?
I did sort of two auditions basically. One was I got sent some sides from Hellraiser and Primal Fear, and when I got those in, I was like, well, I mean, come on, there's something fishy going on here. You know, he's clearly presenting a version of himself that has to be broken down. And then the fact that I'm doing Hellraiser as well, I'm like, well, there's got to be something more there as well. And then they sent me the sides for the show, and they were just like dummy sides. And it was this sort of like, it was a kind of pinhead kind of character, sort of vampiric in a way, but I wasn't told anything. So I just did the best that I could. And then when I went to go meet Matt and Ross, they presented me with the whole sort of story arc. But no, I didn't know at all. I had no idea kind of who this person was, but I certainly had rough ideas as to who they could be. Yeah.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
I'm good, thanks.
If you could be any of the Stranger Things character, who would you be?
11. She's so cool. I'd love to shave my head as well. I don't think I'd look very cool, but I'd like to do it. I've got a very long head. Yeah. Who would you be?
I'll be Max.
You'd be Max? She's cool too. Sadie's also very cool. Yeah. Yeah. Or Steve Harrington. Maybe it's just hair I'm into. Yeah, those two. Thank you. Take care. Hello.
Hello. Give me 1 second while I just kind of...
Take your time. Take your time.
First of all, the Darling Buds, like, I found you guys in high school, and that was kind of like the catalyst of me, like, chasing after music as well.
Sick.
And I'm wondering if you kind of reflect on your past stuff, and if you kind of have, like, a harsh inner monologue about anything, like, are you very kind of reflective on all the music, like, oh, I could have done this better, or I could have done that better. How do you kind of deal with that?
Art is never finished, merely abandoned. I don't think that like I ever look back at like past work that I've done with regret, because everything that you do teaches you something new, you know, particularly with music. You get to learn more about structure, chord sequences, you get to learn more about the creation process, the producing process, sonic process. No, I don't really often look back and think, God, that was awful, because they're capturing moments in time.
Yeah.
I tend to have those moments of, oh God, like as I'm making something. I can have days where I'll make something and I'll listen to it in the evening and I'll go, I'm the best songwriter alive, this is amazing. And I'll listen to it the next day and go, that's a pile of shit. But that's okay, being a critic of your own work is so fine. But when, like I was saying earlier, when I feel it, or when I'm singing it, or when I'm making it, and it feels good, that's when it's right. So yeah, don't try not to sort of look too far back. Keep going as much as you can, basically. Look forwards or be present.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi Jamie, how are you?
I think I'm good. Yeah.
Can I just say it's ridiculously awesome that you're in the same room as all the rest of us? It's kind of cool.
I feel the same. Not about me, about you. It's early.
Question for you. What are you watching at the moment? You've been part of some awesome TV movie stuff. What's on your Netflix to watch list? Also, something that might be lesser known that you've done movie TV wise that you'd like to promote or you think everyone should be onto?
Oh, bless. What am I watching at the moment? I'm rewatching The Nick, which is a show about a turn of the century hospital in New York with Clive Owen, who plays a surgeon who's secretly addicted to heroin. Really cheery stuff. and I love it. I'm also courtesy of my partner watching Below Deck Sailing Yacht. So toxic. It's so toxic, I love it. That Gary, what a legend. He's not. No, I love you, Gary. Yeah, those are kind of the things that I'm going through at the moment. I rewatched recently a really great horror anthology on Shudder called The Mortuary Collection, if you haven't seen it. That's really, really cool. And I also watched recently that new Mia Goth film, it's quite reminiscent of The Prisoner. I can't remember what it's called, but that was cool. She's amazing, she's completely nuts, and I love her. And then anything that I'd like to promote. Yeah, I just shot a great film called Witchboard, actually, with a guy called Chuck Russell, who made a movie called The Mask. And I mean, loads of you remember The Mask, it had Jim Carrey in it. And this film is so sick. It's like a Jumanji adventure horror flick. Yeah, I got it, and I was reading it, and I was going, fuck, this is so fun. I love this. And it was so much fun to make, and the character that I play is a complete lunatic, and it's incredibly camp, and it's just a blast. And then I have a Western that I shot with Kevin Costner called Horizon that we're coming out soon. And that is also amazing. I've seen 10 minutes of that cut together, and I cried when I watched it. So look out for those two things. They're really, really good. Yeah, really, really cool.
Thanks, Jen.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
I would like to know, what's your favourite scene you did in Stranger Things?
My favourite scene in Stranger Things. I really enjoyed the end of 7. I say enjoyed, it was a very powerful scene to shoot. It was really, really cool. And then there was also a moment with Vecna and Eleven in episode 9, I think, where she throws him against the pillar in Vecna's mind layer, and I was strapped up in wire work, and so what you're seeing as he's flying back is actually me, and that was so sick to shoot. I loved that. I love doing wire work and stunts like that. That's really, really fun. So yeah, those are my 2 favourite scenes. I like your hat. It's really cool. I need one of those. It looks cozy and safe. Hiya.
Hi. I was wondering, as you were quite a new actor when you started on Sweeney Todd, I was wondering if people like Alan Rickman were mentors to you during that?
Yeah. I mean, I remember getting to that gig and not knowing what a mark was, and a mark is where they mark down on the floor where you're meant to be standing, and they go, can you stand on your mark? And I go, yeah, sure. And I'd be 2 meters away from it. They're like, no, on your mark. Oh yeah, cool, mark, got it, okay, that's what that means. Johnny was so sweet. I remember standing on this boat in the middle of Pinewood Studios, and we had this big fan blowing in our face, and he turned to me, you could tell I was terrified, and he turned to me and he was like, hey Jamie, that's your biggest fan. And I was like, sick dad joke. Good on you. And yeah, Alan was lovely, and then I think, another person who was really beneficial and supportive was Ian McKellen. I did a television show with him, and he was a father figure, in the acting world, and just kind of showed me how to be on set, and yeah, he's amazing. So yeah, I've been very, very fortunate in that sense. Another memory's just come up, which is, I remember calling Tim Burton dude on set. He was like, hey Jamie, I was like, yeah dude. And then the first AD turned to me and was like, did you just call Tim Burton dude? Yeah, and? So I learned quickly not to do that. So yeah, I've been very fortunate in the sense that pretty much everyone I've ever had the opportunity to work with has been so sweet. And I'm a sponge too. I like to soak it up, and I like to learn as much as possible. So yeah.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, love.
If you could play any character from whatever TV show movie, who would it
Oh, God. Any character from any TV show or any movie. Lord, I'm trying to think of something funny, but nothing's coming to mind. Harry Potter, there you go. Harry Potter! Yeah, Harry Potter, there you go. Thank you, sorry that was really bad, sorry. Hi, yeah.
Hey, Jamie, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Just wondering, is there any actor, actress, or director that you would want to work with in the future?
Kate Blanchett. One of yours, right? No! Yeah, Kate Blanchett, Todd Haynes, who else? Robert Eggers, love to work with Eggers, amazing. Leah Goff, like I said earlier, is incredible. I'd like to play her brother in something really weird. But yeah, Kate is somebody who I've looked up to for a really, really long time. Just think she's so talented and just so on it. Tara's amazing. Her portrayal of Dylan is incredible as well. She's just boss. So yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cheers. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Do you have any role models in the cast of Stranger Things?
Millie is probably my role model. Yeah. She was turning 17 when we were doing season 4. I've forgotten where I am. Season 4, and to watch, without being patronising, to watch a child of 17 years old, 16 years old, walk onto set and command a room with such grace, respect, kindness, was just a beautiful, beautiful thing to watch. She's also an incredible talent. And when I'm stood opposite a talent like that, there is no other option for me other than to be totally enamored with what's going on in that moment. So Mills was a huge, and still is a huge role model for me, even though she's much younger than I am and a very different performer, but she's brilliant, she's amazing. I love that kid with all my heart, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This will have to be the last question, guys.
The last question, hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
What's your name?
Maggie.
Hi Maddie, I'm Jamie, nice to meet you.
So I just wanted to know, when you were on set in Stranger Things, in the Vecna suit, was anybody scared?
Lots of people, lots and lots of people. It was quite dark because we have these corridors. It was probably quite like this now, maybe a bit darker. So, and a lot of, everyone's there to do a job, right? So some people are there to set up cameras, other people are there to kind of do the lights and stuff. So everyone's kind of in their own world. And all of a sudden, I'd be walking along the corridor and they'd be met with Vecna, and that would freak them out. So that was really fun. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, lots of people were quite scared. Millie got quite scared. She actually didn't. She said in an interview once that she didn't know that Vecna was going to be somebody in a costume. She thought it was going to be just maybe me or somebody else in like a green suit, like a green leotard, like they were going to be going and doing acrobatics. And so she gets onto set, and then she's met also with this like terrifying figure. She burst into tears, bless her soul, because she's so sensitive and so gentle. Yeah, that was both very fulfilling and incredibly sad at the same time. Because you don't want your mate to be afraid of you, but also at the same time you're thinking, oh yeah, well, I look cool. So yeah, lots and lots of people were very, very scared, but then we'd have fun with it, then they realised it was me, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all we've got time for, guys. Please make a heap of noise for Jamie Campbell.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry for rambling on like an idiot. I hope you have the best weekend. Thank you for having me, and I hope to meet some of you out there. Yeah, cheers. Really, really cool. Thank you very much. Take care.
The token lead was a bit of a mess. If I leave my notes with that because I'm... Yeah.